Have you ever looked at something massive, like a new skyscraper or a brand new app on your phone, and just wondered, how did they do that? How does something go from a simple idea to a real finished thing? Well, we're going to pull back the curtain on the blueprint that makes it all happen. We're talking about project management.
Right. Think about it. Whether it's putting on a huge music festival, launching a game-changing piece of software, or even building a hospital, there's a structured path that takes that little spark of an idea and turns it into reality. And that path, that whole journey, is project management.
So, first things first, we have to ask the basic question. What even is a project? I mean, it's a word we throw around all the time, right? But what really separates a special project from just, the regular day-to-day grind?
Okay, this is the key. The most important word here is temporary. A project isn't something that goes on forever. Think of it like a special mission or a quest. It has a very clear beginning, a very clear end, and a specific prize at the finish line. It's not like the routine, ongoing stuff that keeps a business running.
You could almost say every project has its own unique DNA. First off, as we said, it's temporary. It has a finish line. It also creates something unique, a one-of-a-kind product or result. Then there's this cool concept called progressive elaboration, which really just means the details get clearer as you go along. And of course, every project is grounded in reality. It has limits, a set budget, a certain amount of time, a specific team, all pushing toward a single, clear goal.
Okay, so now that we know what a project is, let's look at the roadmap that pretty much every single one follows. This is what we call the project lifecycle, and it's like a universal blueprint for getting things done right.
No matter how big or small, a project typically goes through these 5 phases. You kick things off with initiation. That's where you figure out the why. Then comes planning, where you map out the how. Execution is pretty straightforward. That's when the team actually does the work. Now, monitoring and control, this one is absolutely critical. This is the constant course correction, making sure you're still on track. A lot of projects can go sideways right here if you're not paying attention. And finally, you get to closure, where you officially finish, hand everything over, and hopefully celebrate a job well done.
So who's the person steering the ship through this whole 5-phase journey? Well, that would be the project manager.
The project manager, or PM for short, is basically the conductor of the orchestra. They are constantly juggling the big 3, the schedule, the budget, and the scope of the work. They're part strategist, part diplomat, and honestly, part firefighter. They keep everyone in the loop. They're always scanning the horizon for potential risks, and they're the ones who jump in to solve problems to make sure the whole thing actually hits its target.
And to do all that, you can bet they need a pretty impressive toolkit of skills. We're talking way beyond charts and spreadsheets here. It's about genuine leadership, making tough calls when the pressure's on, negotiating for what the team needs, and just being a creative, relentless problem solver. It's a powerful mix of people skills and technical smarts.
This is a really useful distinction to make. Think of it this way. A project manager is like the captain of a special forces team sent on a very specific temporary mission. A line manager, on the other hand, is more like the governor of a city, focused on the long-term, day-to-day running of things. One is leading the quest, the other is managing the kingdom. 2 very different jobs.
But a project isn't just about plans and processes and timelines. At its very heart, it's about people. And that always adds this fascinating and, sometimes challenging layer of complexity to everything.
The really smart PMs know this, and they manage the human side of things with a tool called stakeholder analysis. It's pretty simple, really. First, you figure out everyone who has a stake in the project. Then, you analyze what they care about and how much influence they have. Step 3, you prioritize them. And finally, you come up with a real strategy to keep them in the loop and on your side. Doing this early is a total game changer for getting support and avoiding roadblocks later on.
And look, whenever you get a group of passionate people working together, you're going to get some conflict. It's just a natural part of the process. Maybe 2 teams are fighting over the same budget, or a key person has expectations that are just not realistic. The goal isn't to avoid conflict. That's impossible. The goal is to see these friction points coming and have a plan to manage them.
And really, this quote nails it. The solution to most of these problems isn't some secret formula. It almost always comes back to the basics. Communicating clearly and honestly, negotiating in good faith, and making sure everyone on the team knows exactly what they're supposed to be doing. A good project management framework gives you the tools to navigate all these challenges and just keep moving forward.
So that's the blueprint. And, project management isn't just some stuffy process for big corporations. It's a mindset.
It's a framework that can help turn any idea, your idea, into a reality. It's how we organize chaos, channel creativity, and ultimately build the future, one project at a time.